Hello everyone, welcome back to another session. So in our last session we are discussing about absorption and intensity shifts in the case of UV absorption, UV visible spectra. So there is a bathochromic shift. That means if the wavelength, the wavelength actually shifting toward the higher wavelength actually called bathochromic shift. If the wavelength, the peak value actually shifting to the lower wavelength side, that we defined as hypsochromic shift. So due to presence of some additional groups, if the intensity of the peak increases, that we defined as hyperchromic shift, and if the intensity of the peak decreases, that we defined as hypsochromic shift. So like this, in the case of UV visible absorption spectra, always we will see such kind of shift in the peaks because of the presence of chromophores, auxochromes, or extension of conjugation and all those things. Okay, so we defined actually bathochromic shift. This is nothing but actually a red shift. So red shift means shift towards the longer wavelength side, and we have seen one of the example, aniline to corresponding cation like this in the presence of acid. So this NaH2 group actually converting into NaHC plus kind of group like this. So in the case of aniline, these three benzene ring, three alternate double bonds, conjugate double bonds actually giving absorption peak around 280 nanometers in the corresponding absorption spectrum. Whereas after treatment with the acid, so this molecule becomes like a corresponding cation molecule like this, but this absorbing around 203 nanometers only. So that means in this case what is happening? The wavelength value actually decrease. So wavelength value decrease means this shift actually called hypsochromic shift. So this is one of the example for the where you can see hypsochromic shift in the corresponding absorption spectrum. So like this we have also seen some other conjugate system. So in case of conjugate system, basically the absorption peak is mainly because of the pi to pi star transition, because we have a, for example in this case we have C double bond C kind of group. If you have an isolated or free C double bond C group, generally it is absorbing in the region of 170 nanometer, that means lower wavelength side, that means higher energy transition. Whereas if you add one more C double bond C kind of group like this, C double bond kind of group like this, so due to presence of additional double bond group like this, it absorbs around 270 nanometers. From here to here what will happen? So wavelength increase. So wavelength increase means energy decrease because of the presence of conjugation. And in this third case, we have more number of alternative double bonds in this manner. So that means due to the extension of conjugation in this case, so this particular fragment will absorb around 420 nanometers region. So this is actually in the region of visible light. So what is the visible light? So 380 nanometers to 760 nanometers we defined as visible region. So it is absorbing around 420 nanometers. That means this compound actually having some particular color. So like this, and and from here to here, what kind of shift is there? The wavelength value gradually increasing. So that means that is nothing but actually bathochromic shift or red shift. Okay, and these are some other examples we have seen already. This is a simple 1,3-butadiene molecule. So this system absorbing around 220 nanometers, whereas this one actually 1, 3 and 5 pentene triene. So this system actually absorbing around 257 nanometers when compared to the 1,3-butadiene moiety, because in this case we have one more double bond. In addition to the two double bonds, we have one more conjugate double bond. So the value shifted to 257 nanometers. So similarly in this case also we have 1, 2, 3, 4 alternate double bonds are available in this particular example. So again the wavelength value shifted to 287 nanometers, 220, 257 and here 287. Yes or no? So that means this is mainly because of the extension of conjugation. The extension of conjugation actually decreasing the energy gap between the pi bonding, pi star anti-bonding level. Let us say this is the energy gap in the first case. So, but in this case, this energy gap something like this. So little bit decreased. So energy decrease means it will absorb longer wavelength only. So in this case still these levels are very close to like this. Like this. So the energy gap between the pi to pi shell levels gradually decreases because of the extension of conjugation. So that leads to the absorption of longer wavelength once the conjugation increases in this manner. Okay, and even these are another set of examples from benzene to tetrazene like this. Again we can see benzene ring absorbs wavelength around 255 nanometers because of the 3 alternate double bonds. In the case of naphthalene, this value moved up to 240 nanometers because of the additional 2 double bonds. In the case of anthracene, so this is actually 380 nanometers because of the more number of conjugate double bonds like this. Even the tetrazene also absorbing around, so this is actually absorbing around I think 420 nanometers. We have already seen the last time 420 nanometers like this. Okay, sorry. So 420 nanometers like this. So this is mainly because of the extension of conjugation from benzene to the tetrazene. So all these examples we have discussed already in the last class. Again I am repeating one more time in order to understand what is the absorption shift and intensity shift in the case of various molecule. Okay, so this is something about the UV visible spectroscopy, but we have to understand what are the applications of the UV visible spectroscopy. So generally with respect to UV visible spectroscopy, we have 2 different types of applications. The first category actually qualitative applications, and second category actually quantitative applications. So one thing actually UV visible spectroscopy useful to understand the qualitative applications. So qualitative applications means, so it is useful to understand what type of compound that is, whether that is an unsaturated compound or saturated compound or conjugate system or non-conjugate system, whether that is a cis isomer, a trans isomer, like this. We can able to say something about the corresponding nature of the molecule. So quality nothing but actually nature. So whereas quantitative means it is also useful to estimate the concentration of some of the colored solutions. So it is also useful to estimate the concentration. So what is the concentration? It is the amount of solid compound available in a given solvent, in a given solvent. So that it is also useful to estimate how much amount of that particular compound actually available. So like that it is also having qualitative applications as well as quantitative applications. So we will see one by one. First we will see some of the qualitative applications, then we will go for the quantitative applications. Okay, so qualitative applications or qualitative analysis. So in this case I am trying to compare the 2 different kind of compounds. One is actually aromatic system and other one actually non-aromatic system. But in both the cases we can see some kind of conjugation. So the first, this is the absorption spectrum of the benzene ring. So this is the benzene molecule. So this benzene molecule contains 3 alternative double bonds in this manner, yes or not? So benzene contains 3 alternate double bonds in this manner. So in the case of benzene ring, what is the chromophore? So C double bond C acting as the main chromophore that is responsible for the absorption of UV or visible radiation. Okay, but if you see the absorption spectrum of benzene ring, it shows some kind of multiple peaks in this manner in the region of 220 to around 270 like this. 232 from here. So 230 to 270 region we will get some kind of multiple absorptions like this. So this is mainly because of the 3 alternate double bonds available in the benzene ring. So and if you see it is actually absorbing, so in which region, whether it is absorbing in the visible region or ultraviolet region. So what is the UV visible range? So 200 nanometers to up to 380. So defined as UV region, whereas 380 nanometers to 760 nanometers defined as visible region. Yes or not? So this is belongs to UV and this is belongs to visible region. So if you see the benzene molecule, so generally we know that benzene molecule actually one of the colorless compound, even though it is actually having 3 alternative double bonds. It is actually having 3 conjugate double bonds, but still it is actually colorless compound. So what is the reason for that? The main reason actually, even this aromatic system, so in this case the energy gap actually between the pi and pi star levels, it is little bit longer, and I mean energy gap is more, energy gap is there. So we have to provide little bit higher energy. So that higher energy is in the region of UV region. So it is absorbing around 230 to 270 nanometers. So that means, so that is the reason why benzene ring actually colorless in nature, that we can able to answer by using the UV absorption spectrum of the corresponding benzene. If you take the UV absorption spectrum, it is actually absorbing from the UV region instead of absorbing visible region. So this clearly indicates that, so benzene actually one of the colorless system because it is actually absorbing from the UV region. So we always, whenever benzene ring available in our molecule, so in the corresponding absorption spectrum shows this particular pattern of peaks in the corresponding absorption spectrum. So that means from this pattern we can easily understand that for in a given molecule we have a aromatic system, we have a phenyl ring, we have a benzene ring. Like that we can able to analyze the what type of compound we have actually. So like this. So benzene ring always shows so this kind of multiplied absorption peak in the case of corresponding absorption spectrum, mainly because of the absorption in the region of ultraviolet region. So whereas if you see here, this is actually non-conjugate system, this is actually called isoprene. So isoprene, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, so 2-methyl 1,3 butadiene. So this system actually absorbing in the region of 220 nanometers, 222 nanometers. So but my intention actually, both of these compounds, both are actually conjugate system, but this is actually cyclic compound, aromatic in nature, and this is actually acyclic compound, non-aromatic system. But if you see, both the compounds are actually absorbing approximately the similar region. So this is 230 to 270, this is 222 nanometers. But what is the difference between them? If it is the aromatic compound, we will get this kind of multiplied kind of absorption peaks like this. But here you can see, so we have only broad absorption spectrum in this particular case. So like this system, this UV visible spectroscopy useful to distinguish between the conjugate system and non-conjugate system, or aromatic compounds or non-aromatic compounds, because of each and every molecule actually having their own absorption pattern. So from that absorption pattern, we can clearly understand the given compound is a aromatic compound or non-aromatic compound, whether that is actually having any kind of conjugation. We can also determine that the number of double bonds available in the given molecule by following different rules and regulations. So all these things are actually possible by using UV visible spectroscopy. So this is one of the comparison. So these are two different compounds, both are actually absorbing in the UV region only, slight difference is there, but in one case we have a multiplied kind of absorption band, whereas in the other case we have a broad absorption spectrum. So these two compounds actually having different molar extinction coefficient values also. So that means all these details clearly indicates useful to distinguish between the aromatic system and non-aromatic system like this. So this is one point. In addition to that, UV visible spectroscopy also useful to distinguish between the cis isomers and trans isomers. We know that generally for unsaturated compounds like this, let us assume this is one of the unsaturated alkene compound. So in this case, what is the compound? This one is actually trans kind of compound because the both alkyl groups are opposite in nature, whereas this one actually called cis isomer. Cis isomer. What is the difference between them? With respect to formula, both are actually having same kind of formula. There is a difference in that. But the only difference actually the orientation of the some of the substituents. In this case, this R group, both are actually opposite in nature. In the second case, both R groups are actually on the same side. If both R groups are on the same side, that is actually called cis isomer. If both are actually opposite in nature, that is actually called trans isomer. So like this, some of the compounds we have a trans isomers, cis isomers. So whether both molecules will provide you the same kind of absorption spectrum or different absorption spectrum. So definitely both will actually absorb little bit a different wavelength. So this is one of the examples, stilbene. So this is structure of the stilbene. So this is actually C double bond C only, like this only, hydrogen hydrogen. But other side we have a phenyl group here, and this is actually another phenyl group like this. So both are actually same side, both are actually present same side. So this is actually called cis isomer. So the cis isomer actually absorbing lambda value around 280 nanometers in this manner, and this is the corresponding absorption spectrum. We can see here this is the maximum absorbance here. Okay, but the other compound, the same compound in trans isomer, here we can see this phenyl rings or aromatic groups are actually opposite to each other. So this system actually absorbing little bit longer wavelength side, so that is around 300 nanometers like this. So what is the reason? In this case, the two hydrogen atoms are actually very close to each other, so they will actually have some kind of repulsions like this, and this double bond actually highly restricted double bond. So this cis solid bond C group actually highly restricted double bond. So there is no, it is very easy to very difficult to remove electrons from the pi bonding to pi star anti-bonding. But whereas in this case that these two hydrogens are actually away from each other, they don't have any kind of reflections, and this double bond actually can easily, they don't have any restrictions from the either phenyl groups or from the two hydrogens. So that means this double bond can easily excite the electrons of pi bonding to the pi star anti-bond. Here the transition pi to pi star actually very easy. Very easy means we have a shorter energy gap between them, but here the energy gap is a little bit higher like this. So it is not that much easy. We have to provide a little bit more amount of energy. So here we need higher energy, here we need lower energy. So lower energy means longer wavelength like this, and higher energy means shorter wavelength like this. So like this, so this UV or visible spectrum spectroscopy is actually useful to distinguish between the cis isomers and trans isomers. So this is also one of the qualitative applications. So we can able to see the difference between the cis isomer and trans isomer. So that means in a given compound, whether that is belong to cis form or trans form, how much amount of cis form available, how much amount of trans form available. So all those details can be identified from the corresponding UV visible absorption spectrum in this manner. Okay, so this is another example, and this example already we have seen 2 or 3 times in the last 2 sessions. So this is one of the keto kind of compound, and here we have C double bond C group like this. So if you see this absorption spectrum, we can see 2 different types of peaks like this. So from this spectrum we can able to understand, okay, so this peak is mainly because of the what type of transition, whether that is because of the pi to pi star or n to pi star. So generally n2, this is the non-bonding level, this is pi star level, and this is the pi bonding level. So generally n to pi star requires longer wavelength, and pi to pi star requires little bit shorter wavelength when compared to n to pi star and pi to pi star transitions. So in this example, the 2 absorption peaks are mainly because of the, one is because of the n to pi star, and other one is mainly because of the pi to pi star. But n to pi star requires a longer wavelength. That means this particular peak mainly because of the n to pi star, and the other peak actually mainly because of the pi to pi star in this manner. So this is mainly because of the n to pi star, and this is mainly because of the pi to pi star. So like this we can able to analyze the corresponding compound, corresponding absorption spectrum in order to understand the quality of the corresponding molecule. So that is actually possible. So these are some of the qualitative applications.